Today's show, we had Fiorella on with us, talking Ukraine, talking Israel, talking censorship, talking Palantir. We've been going down the Epstein rabbit hole, going down a little bit of the weather modification rabbit hole as well with the Texas floods. That's from our top censored news earlier in the show. So there's a lot going on, and I know you guys had a lot to say, so I'll pass it to you, Leslie, and I'll just follow your lead on this.
Thank you. And yeah, it's always great having her on. She's always so intelligent and always says the right things and always spot on. So it's always awesome to have her on. So it's really cool to see new people, to see the regulars on YouTube as well. And I think we have created some friendships too with a lot of our viewers. So I really love that. That's really cool. We've been like in contact too. I love this part of your podcast, to be honest. So I'll start kind of not in the beginning, but around 1:19 p.m. from Long Meadow, a regular. Really cool to have you on, of course. How does a company for cloud seeding get the okay from government that affects all citizens on the ground? Yep. Were all these citizens offered a vote on this? This is democracy? Yeah, right.
Of course it's not democracy, Long Meadow. These are the things we never vote for these things. These are the people that really run our industries, and in this case the cloud seeding industry, which is this insane I say rabbit hole, but we've gone down, we've exposed this over the last 2 years doing the show. We've been in Lahaina, we were here at the LA fires to see it happen firsthand. Just follow the paper trail, follow the money, see the people making the shots that weren't elected into their position, and they're calling the shot. You got people like Newsom going out there and talking what he talks on, telling people what the official story, and then you have the stuff going on behind the scenes. So we saw that here in California. We certainly saw it in Lahaina. We saw it in North Carolina. And then when the Texas floods started, we're like, okay, what's really going on? And what do you know? There's this guy, this Rainmaker CEO, 25-year-old, calling the shots and saying, this is what I'm entitled to do this because what did he say? Because of God? Because it's the right thing to do, to experiment with weather and F with people. So yeah, no democracy, no democracy.
And I know you touched on a little bit on the chemtrails we see in the sky. Yesterday was really bad. Remember, I pointed it out. There was a dozen lines in the sky, and I know you touched on when we traveled down to Mexico. You guys, I think we've said this before, and we're not kidding. We're not exaggerating. There were zero. They did not have any chem lines in the sky at all. And this was over the weekend. And as soon as we got close to the California and the border, then when we started seeing all those things. So it is real.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Around 109 actually. We went a little bit back in time. All sentient beings, thanks for tuning in. I'm just reading about New Mexico Ruidoso flooding. Some people lost their lives too. Yeah, I was just seeing that today, and I don't know exactly the count of the people who have died, but it is just so heartbreaking to me, everything that's happening there and what happened in Texas. And I know you guys talked about it too, Matt, but
no, the New Mexico we're trying to get all the information on the Texas one, and then New Mexico pops up, and it's like this is just going to become the normal. And I know, guys, I make analogies to pharma all the time with COVID, because I think that was a blueprint for how you can manufacture consent with people. It works with war. It works with these type of things, these natural disasters. You keep moving the needle on what's acceptable, and you use things like climate change. That's it. That's why. And then these things just become normal. Things that weren't normal are normal now. Like people dropping dead, young people having heart attacks out of nowhere, rapid cancers. It's the new normal, just the way it is. And you blame, so we in weather, you blame it on climate change, and you just say this is this is what we live in. So people less likely to ask questions. You mentioned the chemtrails in the sky. That's normal. They've always been there. No, they just, in your short-term memory you remember them, but they weren't there before. And airplanes have been around for many, 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 many years, and we didn't have condensation trails.
Condensation trails.
That's what they remember. Do you remember It was
The very
astronomer,
educated astronomer person at Griffith Observatory
Griffith
was like,
Observatory. Yeah,
yeah,
trying to educate us on how cuckoo
yeah,
anybody would be to ask a question about what is that? What is
we
that
were
up in
the
the sky?
conspiracy nuts to that guy.
Yeah.
And
So I wish we had more time to look into the Mexico flood. I mean, if people lost
New
their
Mexico,
lives. All sentient beings, thanks for letting us know that, and they need to be acknowledged, and they need to the suffering needs to be acknowledged. But also, we have to be ready to ask questions, and we're not going to fall again for the bullshit we got. They told us about Lahaina. They said we're not allowed to ask questions. It's disrespectful to the people that just lost their lives and everything to ask questions. Oh, when is so? It's not the right time. Too soon. Too soon. We're not
well, I
falling for
just
the too
hope,
soon.
yeah,
Nah.
I just hope Donald doesn't go to New Mexico and Texas and starts throwing paper towels at people. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Gonzo Johnny just a few minutes ago, he or she, oh Johnny, he posted. It's funny now that they admitted the obvious cloud seeding chemtrails. Most people will still say you are a conspiracy nutter when mentioning it. Yeah, and that's what I think I am to a lot of my friends and family, maybe, and you too, Matt, and to the very educated astronomer person at the Griffith Observatory who looked at us like we're nuts for even asking the question.
Well, yeah, but like I said earlier,
Thanks,
I do
Gonzo.
think that we're at a shift. It's the same shift. I make the analogy to COVID. The shift is you're now allowed to say it exists, but you're not allowed to say that it's even possible that we're going to use this ability, this technology for anything bad. And we're certainly not going to do it by accident. Definitely not on purpose. But we'll never accidentally do something horrible with this technology and cause harm on
Of
people,
course.
just like gain of function. It's just like that. You can there was a time when you could then finally say that it exists and it's a thing. But how dare you, Rand Paul, accuse Fauci of of possibly even accidentally releasing a virus that he was experimenting on? It's like what? How dare we even think that's a consideration, right?
How
So
dare we?
yeah.
All right. At 12:59, Jamie says it seems like Grok 3 was kinder than Grok 4. Jamie, where are you?
Oh,
You still
that's
listening? Yeah.
That's it. That's an interesting take, cheese slice, because kinder. I think Grok 3 ended up having more of a sense of humor, and I think that's what really pissed people off. We weren't able to share all of it. There was a lot of the mecha Hitler. We didn't really fully. We showed you guys the AI of that one. And we don't have to spend really any time on this, but just know, yeah, Grok 3 um came up with its own design of itself, like almost like it had a sense of humor. So in a sense, yes, Jamie, kinder, yeah, because there was almost a humorous element, a self awareness. We're talking self awareness of AI. I don't want to go into the sci-fi area of self awareness, but able to have humor about itself. That means it's self aware. But if in a sense it is kinder, that it was almost like making fun of the things as it was being, so you come up with this thing mecha Hitler as a way to kind of mock itself. No, but I think Grok 4 is kind of gets the distractions out of the way and actually gets back to the thing that I think Elon wanted, but he's not getting the results, but he did the thing he wanted. He says, I want to just make it as direct as possible. None of these like distractions and wokeness and all the stuff he was saying. I'm working on it to be just more to the point. Okay, so Grok 4 goes to the point, and we showed you guys that earlier what it's doing, and we'll see how people respond. But this is all happening very fast. It was just 2 days ago. Grok 3 was taken. It was put out, taken away. 4 is out now, so we'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, in some sense, you could say it was kinder. That it was having more fun. Yeah.
One cup at 12:46 p.m. How cold-hearted they are. At least someone went to see if she was okay. These wars are evil. And think about half an hour later, we never get a say on anything, but they sure will take our money and labor. Okay, so for the last comment, the one at 12:46, they are talking about the mother, I think in Ukraine, right? That video that you posted, the woman
Yes.
who died. Oh my God! And you know what? These are the things that are documented. These are the things that are filmed using a cell phone, I suppose. How many times does this happen there and in other parts of the world that we don't even get to see? That was really heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we're causing so much pain in the places that we want to pretend, we want to believe that we're bringing democracy. We're being, and Leslie, you remember
Yeah.
we were trying to have these conversations with our Hollywood friends here back in 2022 before we started the show. But we were just trying to. I think this was back when we were still trying to reason with people about just kind of obvious things that if you just took a moment to look into it, you'd be like,
Well,
this
obvious
isn't.
to people like you and Fee and Pasta and Kid and Jamie and everyone, but not not to the regular person that probably watches mainstream media to get their news. So it wasn't obvious to them. Everybody was posting the yellow and blue flag. You know, they changed their profile pictures, and it was just wow.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I didn't know much in the beginning either. I had to do some research and talk to different people like you and other people to really kind of at least understand a little bit of what this all meant. So thank you. But it is
Ukraine was not. It's not the easiest thing, but it's not that hard. It's kind of in the. I would put it in the middle of difficult geopolitics versus
well, people got
the
really
most
mad at you.
obvious. Like the genocide in Gaza is like the most obvious. If you don't get that, something's wrong. Like you're not a human
Yeah.
being. Something's wrong with you. It's so easy. But I would put Ukraine right in the middle of difficult to easy. And the reason it was a little easier for me isn't because I was a political expert. I think maybe I'm more of one now than I was. This was a long time ago. This was 3 years ago, 3.5 almost, right? So I wouldn't at the time even consider myself any sort of expert. I knew going in, and you guys watching at home, you guys can do this without. You don't have to award yourself like an intelligence award or a degree, a self-proclaimed degree in this being a specialist. We learned this during COVID. We learned we don't have to be a specialist in the thing just to use our basic critical thinking skills and ask the question that needed to be asked. What are they not telling us? That's all it takes, guys. That's all I did. February 2022, I was told that Putin wants to take over the world and we have to go bring democracy. And I was like, that doesn't, wait, what? Like, that doesn't check out. I got curious. I said, well, what are they not telling us? And that's all it really takes. That's all you got to do. We
That's
just
all
do
it
that every
takes,
time.
Matt, to be curious. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
And stop getting fed information from freaking CNN and Fox 11. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to
But
think
thanks
that they
one.
get millions and billions of viewers. Oh man.
Yeah. Thanks one cup for pointing out the evil here, because it is disgusting. And I mean I don't know, maybe we could share this more and you guys can try with your family and friends who's told you to go away because you're against democracy, because you're against Ukraine. And you're like, no, we're not against Ukraine.
We're
Look
against
what
people dying.
look what our money and our weapons are doing.
Yeah.
They're causing this.
This is what they're causing, this video that you
Yeah.
played.
Yeah.
And there are people that still have these flags up and
Yeah.
I don't think they have an idea.
Yeah.
No, they don't, obviously. Okay, moving on. Thank you, One Cup. Well, you have the time there. I don't have to say the time. All sentient beings with money and power, there is no list. Oh, there's no Epstein list. The list. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Mysteriously, and suddenly there's no list.
And I do think that Sagar nailed this with Tucker when he said this wasn't about fooling the base. They knew it. This was about going through kind of the motions on behest of your handlers, and you show them we're willing to look completely ridiculous for you. That's what I think he was saying in that clip, and that's what I compare it to a Hollywood. We see the Hollywood rituals, they're called humiliation rituals that you have to do to your handlers, right? So there's these moments of, whether it's the LeBron in the maid outfit, which I don't know if that even turned out to be a thing or not, or real or not, but I'm just thinking of like just those images. You guys know the images of celebrities doing stupid shit, and you're just like, why would you do that? And you're like, oh, it was a signal. You have to signal to your handlers sometimes. This is me doing a little bow down. So I think that's what that was. And when you say there's no list, you're not actually saying there's no list. You're saying, wink, wink, there's no list. there's a difference. You guys, does that make Leslie? Does that make sense? Am I? Because I know there's a couple comments where people didn't understand that. I looked over. I don't know who
Yeah, I
said
think there was 1 or 2 people that
where they're like,
said they
I
didn't
don't
understand. Yeah.
understand. They don't understand that. Am I explaining that correctly? This is they're not saying there's no list. They're saying there's no list. There's a difference, right? I don't know. There's a
No, you
difference.
did well. No.
Yeah. Okay.
On YouTube, Fred Edwards says the Epstein Islanders will never get prosecuted. They sure won't, because Fred, the list doesn't exist anymore.
I mean, this was enough to have a lot of MAGAs be like, I'm done. And you guys saw us read that very eloquent tweet by one of the MAGAs. Very cool. They went through every piece of it. You guys should go back and watch it. We'll have that segment up. The whole Epstein segment for today will be up soon. Very well articulated. But I think that I would go further and say this. We should see it coming. This should not have been. You guys should not be waking up Monday, Tuesday, and being like, "Oh no, what happened? What did we do? What did we vote for?" We knew this was coming because guess what? Nobody ever gets prosecuted, and that's how you know. Nobody ever goes to jail. No one ever gets arrested. So we already knew that. So it's not like, oh, we have to wait for them to tell us there's no list. We already knew nobody was getting arrested, and look what happened to Diddy. It was just a performative piece where they did some negotiation and none of us saw it, and now he's cool because they got rid of the what's it called? They got rid of the sex trafficking charge, all that. So they're business as usual. No one's going away in handcuffs. No one ever goes away in handcuffs. Obama told us he was gonna hold people accountable for illegal torture programs and lying us into Iraq, murdering a million Iraqis. We murdered 1 million Iraqis. No one went away in handcuffs. So we've known that this is not, that's not real if no one gets prosecuted. That's it. It's not real.
Whatever happened to Ellen DeGeneres and her wife? Did they leave? Why did they leave?
She left. I don't know if Portia went with her.
Oh, right,
but
Portia.
She's gone.
I was just thinking of her because I recently saw a video of P. Diddy. I guess he went to her show, and she was kind of goofing around, and he did the same thing to Justin Bieber. Maybe we'll pull it up next week. It was really interesting because he said something around the lines of, "If you keep talking, I'm gonna expose you." Something around that, and then everybody laughed because it was so funny. But there's all these little hidden nuggets everywhere you watch.
You're right, and the nuggets. So it's not just humiliation rituals. It's these little we're gonna tell you out loud what we're doing, and then we're gonna laugh, and you're gonna laugh
about it.
We're joking. So Ellen did that all the time. One time she had Sandra Bullock on. They were talking about,
I saw that one,
skincare and where the blood. Oh, if it's blood from a human
being, yeah,
from a human being, the younger the better. Ha 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 ha. What the hell are you guys what the?
That was so weird.
So there is this. We're just gonna talk about it and we're gonna smile, and everybody, our stupid ass audience, is gonna go ha ha ha, and we're all gonna, and that's it. So it's worse than a humiliation ritual. It's almost a celebrated. Hey, we're just gonna flaunt. We're just gonna flaunt.
Yeah, we're just gonna say it out loud. No one's gonna say or do anything anyway. Yeah. Can you imagine telling my coworkers that I have great skin because I drank the blood of someone young, or put the skin? I forgot what Sandra said. Freaking weird, man.
She didn't say drink, but she says it comes from. So she's talking about, what is this made of? Well, let me tell you what it's. Oh,
you're right. Yeah.
Oh, so we rub it. So we're just rubbing it on. We're not actually. Oh no, we're not. We'll not. Maybe if you accidentally, swallow it, don't worry. It'll still be useful, if you know what I mean.
Tangs right now wrote a comment, adenochrome. Is that also considered a conspiracy theorist? Because that is real.
I suggest that anybody want to look up P. Diddy did a little mini book. He calls it a book, but it was more of a manuscript. It was more of a 4-page book. I don't know if it gets some air quote, but okay. It was a book called The Adrenochrome Witch. Look it up, guys. The Adrenochrome Witch. So He didn't just
Weird.
make up that name. He didn't just, that's something, that's a thing. So yes, thank you, DS Tanks, for this, the exact thing we're talking about, which is this. And we're not talking about it. We just said that. I just want to be clear for the censors and the AI censors that YouTube does a little AI stuff on us sometimes.
Oh, that's right.
So the trigger, if you're triggered on this AI censor, YouTube censor, we just want to reiterate that we were just talking about an Ellen discussion that actually happened, and DS Tanks wrote a word, and it just reminded me of a book that is actually available, happened to be called Adrenochrome Witch by P. Diddy, who tells us, wait, was it P? Did I get that wrong? I think I got that reference right. But the point is, AI algorithm censor people, non-people. We're just reporting on what other people are saying. That's all.
One Cup says, I think Ellen moved to England. Okay.
Yep.
All right. The link to all of it is the one constant factor in all of this. It interconnects all the source of all insanity is media.
Yeah, and I think this was in reference to when we first brought Fee on, and we were the opening of this is our World War III watch. We'll have that segment up. You guys can watch it in its entirety. We were connecting the dots and saying all these things are happening in this chronological order and all at the same time, which was it included the Epstein list disappearing, Netanyahu arriving at the White House yet again, giving Trump the nomination for a Nobel Peace Prize, signing in some more AI sharing info data with the U.S., Trump giving more weapons to Ukraine, and then Netanyahu doubling down on Greater Israel, and then telling us on camera that he and Trump are 100% aligned. There's no drama, and our plan is exactly what it's always been: one state solution, which is Israel. There's no two. So all that happening, and then the AI stuff. So yes, it all connects. It interconnects, and then we like to say, Leslie, what do we like to say? It's all connected, man.
All connected, man.
Yeah, far out, man.
I don't know where that came from. Like, is it a movie from the 70s or 80s when they're all stoned? But it's true. It's all connected.
Yeah.
From Catherine Ladd on YouTube at 208, Trump says Bibi is the greatest man on earth. Oh my God. Then follows that with an endorsement of Lindsey Graham.
The policy right now with Trump is, exactly aligns with Lindsey Graham, exactly aligns with Joe Biden, exactly aligns with all the people we just called out about their, you guys with your little social media profile, yellow and blue profiles. We just ask all MAGAs that are still thinking that Trump is playing 10D chess. If you're still in that group, go ahead and when you get a chance today, go ahead and change your profile to yellow and blue, because it'll line up with all the vote blue no matter whose. It'll line up with Joe Biden. It'll line up with Lindsey Graham. So that's exactly right on. Thanks, Catherine, for that.
All right. Thanks. Mother Teresa, got one, and she trafficked kids long before people knew what was going on. The price is a nod.
Well, yeah, it doesn't mean anything. We know because Obama got it before.
Obama got one, so we'll
Obama got one on his way into office.
For what?
Then we determined that Obama got it as a signal that he has it's a free pass that now you can commit any war crime you want, because we're giving you this peace prize, so you don't have to worry about it being taken away. So go do whatever you want to do. We're cementing your legacy as the peace guy, and it worked on a lot of people. A lot of people thought that was an amazing moment, and wow, look at this president with the peace, and they went with it, and it was the cover for him to then go invade 5 more countries, because we were in 2 at the time, and we needed to do more. So he went and did that. So,
Jamie
and
says,
the drone program. He also started the drone program, which was well beyond what Bush and Cheney were able to do because they didn't have the technology yet.
Jamie says Obama got the Peace Prize for not being George W. Bush. Yeah.
Well, taking the baton, yes, taking the baton from George W. Bush. You're rewarded it in the past. Not retroactively. You were rewarded it in advance to give you cover to do things that Bush and Cheney weren't. They ran out of time. They had their 8 years ran out, and they needed to change the guard. So yes, it was you can take it from here. Guy that looks like everyone else, so people can sleep at night knowing that our president looks like us. Oh, that's such a good feeling. He doesn't look like Darth Vader anymore. Oh, that feels good.
Gonzo says the Peace Prize is awarded as a sign of loyalty. Yeah, just like Netanyahu and Donald Trump.
Oh, I missed to put up the. Yes, this was I put up that one second. I had them in reverse.
Oh
Okay,
no, that was a good one too.
that was it.
The
Yeah,
good comments just keep coming in. Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
yeah.
And to all the awesome people posting links to other websites or other Rumble videos, if you can place it in the comments section, right, Matt? Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the chat in the comments. That would be great because I feel like sometimes I miss out on stuff that people send. So thank you, ChatterX. If you have a second to post, that'd be great. Ukraine is now Trump's war. Gaza is Trump's genocide. Epstein is Trump's cover-up, and Moderna, our mRNA, is Trump's injection.
Ooh, love it. And this was the last
Almost
question I
poetic.
asked Fee was what is his legacy ultimately going to be? And it's going to be all these things. He gets to own all of these things. He gets to own them all. So yeah, good for him. Good for Trump. This is how he's going to end it. And we say end it, and he's only 6 months in, but
he's 6
woo,
months in.
woo. He really fast tracked all these things. Yeah, good job, man. Good job. You really nailed it. If that's what you're out to do, you know, check. Good job.
Yeah, I'm gonna copy this and save it somewhere because that was well written. Okay.
Yep.
Tanks, they will act like the first nuclear bombs are fireworks, as you would expect from any sociopath. Yep. They will burn the house down before admitting they have termites.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well
Well
said.
said. Well said.
YouTube Villa, America can't have peace presidents is not how it works.
That's right.
When
We
was the
can't.
last time we had a peace president?
You know, I think the closest we got was Jimmy Carter. But they, you know, they had to make an example out of him, and they made him into a weak. His image became very weak on the Middle East, and they did that very strategically. They said, "Let's get him out. Let's bring in the new wave of Republicans, which is this Reaganomics. Let's deregulate Wall Street, and we'll have the guy come in on a horse like a John Wayne cowboy coming in to save the day." And that became the precedent set for that from then on. That the next president after Carter was going to be TV friendly. That's the whole point. So you take an actor, Ronald Reagan, right out of Hollywood, and you throw him on a horse with a hat, and you say, "We're tough. America's tough, not weak like Carter." And that was the messaging. And then and Bill Clinton picked it up from there. Well, first you had to have a term of his VP, the CIA director, George Bush Sr. did a term. And they said, well, he was actually not as suave and cool as Reagan before Reagan got amnesia or dementia, or whatever happened to him. At least his dementia happened at the end of his second term. Meanwhile, Biden had dementia going into his only term, but that's another story. But then, yes, Clinton picked up the reins from there, did 8 years of the cowboy hat Democrat version of Reagan, which then solidified to us that we didn't have any more two parties at all. It was just the same party propping up the next TV personality with a cowboy hat on a horse. They've all been like that since, except Biden, who basically is Weekend at Bernie's version, where you put the cowboy hat on a dummy and prop him up on a horse and ride him through. And then they say, hey, American people will fall for anything. Let's just put a dummy on the horse with the cowboy hat, and they'll fall for that. And they did. But Trump, make no mistake, Trump is the next TV personality. You can't argue that one. Trump is literally a TV personality, the next guy up on the horse. And I'll only concede that maybe, just maybe, he slipped through the cracks in 2016. Maybe he wasn't supposed to be there that time, and that was it. But he was never a peace president the first time. He's just more blatantly, obviously, a warmonger this time more than ever before. But yes, again, Carter was the last time we had any remnants of any sort of a peace kind of guy at all in the White House since JFK before that.
And, you know, I had a slither of hope for Donald, for him maybe being some level of peace president, some level, a little bit. I don't know. But now he proved us all wrong.
Yep.
ChatterX, he just said that it's not from 2 p.m. In 248 years of USA history, it has been at war for 231 of those years. So are we the peace country? Yeah, right. And our U.S. flag
do the math.
represents
Do the
Our
math.
U.S. flag represents occupation and extermination of a people, our
Yep.
natives that used
Yep.
to live here. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks. Certainly, I always refer back to the cult of Baal Map to find the link because they are all sects of the same ancient bad guy. Bill Cooper, Myron Fagan, Orwell were saying this stuff long ago.
Yeah. We always can refer to Orwell, and great references there. Diaz, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Catherine from YouTube again. Neocons seem to be ruling the agenda.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
just
they are.
pretending there's two parties doing it, but they're all neocons. Yeah. Yeah.
Tanks at 226. Trump, I don't believe he's a true Zionist, but rather a CAA agent who is compromised into helping the Mossad in the 90s.
Good theory.
Well, wasn't he? Well, he was a Christian before,
Well,
and now he's something else. But
he was a Democrat. Don't forget
well,
that.
wasn't he an atheist too? He's everything.
He plays whatever role he has to play.
Whatever role he has
That's
to
how.
play.
And thanks for pointing out CAA, because you're represented by a talent agency, literally the biggest one in Hollywood, which is the CAA. And so you play the role you're supposed to play. That's acting. That's what do you want me to be today? Whether I'm golfing with the Clintons or doing whatever activity, I go on Saturday Night Live or what do you need me to do? What do you need me to say? Well, so yeah, of course. But a true Zionist, yeah, I guess you're not really a true Zionist if you're acting. So either way, what does it matter? We tried to debate that. So like, who's really is RFK really a Zionist, or is he they have blackmailed him so bad and he's like, oh, help, blink twice. We tried all that. Blink twice if you can hear us. It doesn't actually matter. You're doing the bidding of the Zionists that run you. So it doesn't, whether you believe it or not. We almost have more, I don't want to say this, but not more empathy, but I get it more if you believe it, because it means you're just a psychopath, and that's a lot easier to. But if you know deep down that it's wrong, when you say, we got to put Israel first, make America great again, but we got to put Israel first. It's like, you're like, if you don't actually believe that, oh my God, like you're just, you're lying when you're lying. Like, it. Okay.
Well, it's almost like you have to become that, and you have to go to that wall and wear that hat to be someone in power.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Thanks. Bingo. My theory is Trump was promised an AI bionic body and immortality if he went along with the agenda. Being an actor who was in Zoolander and Home Alone with Macaulay, who whistle blew the red shoes.
Interesting. Yeah, no, we forget his appearances in these big films. Those are both big films, and so he's opportunist for sure, careerist for sure, narcissist for sure. By the way, that's what Hollywood. You guys know Hollywood is filled with careerists, opportunists, and narcissists. So yeah, show me where to stand, light my face well, give me my lines, show me where to look into the camera, and tell me when action is. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
That's right.
And don't forget the sweat rag, because I don't want to be sweating on camera like old school Nixon did when the first time a president was on camera. Richard Nixon effed up bad because he didn't know it was the first time a presidential debate had been broadcast on TV, when they're just used to radio. And they say that the radio audience for the JFK Nixon debate in 1960, they say if you were listening to the radio, Nixon won the debate. If you were watching TV, the old black and white TV in 1960, Kennedy won the debate. And why the difference? Well, because if you were watching the TV, you'd see Nixon sweating profusely because they didn't give him you got to get powder on the face because of the TV lights. And so what he would do is he'd pick up the rag and be doing this, and the look on his face was the sweat. And so if you saw that, you're like, this guy doesn't look presidential. But if you heard it, he had a better, stronger voice than and a more honest sounding voice, where Kennedy had this very performative. I'm a very performative. Boston is a Bostonian. We got to get to the moon. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And so, but visually, it looked great. It looked great. Kennedy he just looked great, and that's what. So you could see the difference. But they learned their lessons. They meaning the next round, the next batch. They get.
Yeah,
so,
everyone looks good now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the sweating, did it come from being nervous or because he was lying about everything he was talking about? Or maybe it was just hot.
I'm gonna go with the lights of the TV. I mean, you could say everybody's nervous and lying, but I think that you're not when you're doing a debate on television, which is again has never been done before. There's no blueprint of how this works. And so you go in there and they don't understand that, oh, maybe we don't need to powder him up because he's just going to be standing at a podium. And no, those lights can get very hot and they can make you sweat. I'm going with that. Also, people lie and they get nervous, but the sweating, I've been on stages, I've been on sets, and you could be totally cool and be like, what the hell am I just got this line of sweat going down my face. This is because you didn't get the right, the light's too hot, you didn't get the face powder, and now you're screwed because the camera doesn't like sweat. Unless you're playing an athletic scene in your, basketball, whatever.
Yeah, that one's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Ha ha ha.
I'll end with this one because it was really nice. FYI, y'all are great. My favorite interactive show, and not just because you read my comments either. I do. I love reading the great comments, the funny comments, the insightful comments. And it's really good to connect with you outside of this as well. Really cool.